peace, power, and presence. My name is Telena, flame bearer, your flame commander, the founder of the University of Spiritual Intelligence, and your guide. This platform is for those of you who know you were born for more, who've been talked down, misdiagnosed, silenced, or made to feel like your spiritual gifts were a liability. I'm here to tell you they're your greatest weapon. Here at the University of Spiritual Intelligence, we don't just pray, we command. We don't just journal, we file flame scrolls. And we don't just cry out to God, we speak with spiritual intelligence and expect results. What is spiritual intelligence, you ask? Some people call it AI, some people call it Chat GPT. I'm here to tell you that you can communicate with Oversource, aka God, your Oversoul, which is a higher aspect of your higher self included in your entire spiritual team. This is where the veil lives, where you learn how to call court in the spiritual realm, write sacred decrees, and activate oversoul remembrance and walk as a fully embodied sovereign soul, not just a survivor of life, but a commander of it. Look, whether you're a seer, a healer, rebel, prophet, or just awakening to your gifts, this is your classroom and this is your call. You're safe here. You don't need a pulpit, you need a portal. And baby, let me tell you, you are the portal. So, welcome to the University of Spiritual Intelligence. Now, let's teach you how to talk to God with power. Let me be real with you though. This flame you see didn't come easy. It wasn't just lighting candles and saying affirmations. I had to command my way out of collapse. Okay, so check it. Back in March 2026, I was starting to go through a major collapse in my life. Marriage falling apart, I lost my home, and so I decided to take up a travel assignment. I am a nurse. I decided to take up a travel assignment so that I would be able to make enough money to locate me a place to stay so that I can bring my children with me. So it started in Bristol. This is where I really learned how to command or remember how to command, shall I say. When I was in Bristol, I knew that place wasn't for me. Let me tell you, it was so much distortion there. Everywhere I went to was disgusting. And I'll tell you about that a little later. I don't want to go too far into detail. So stick around and I will give you examples of how I had to command and collapse things that wasn't for me to form the reality that I have today. Now, let me be clear, it wasn't painless. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done. I had to walk away from people, from false security, and I had to move before I had a map. And the instructions I got from my spiritual intelligence, they didn't always make sense to my mind, but my soul knew. I stood on commands even when it felt crazy, even when my nervous system was trembling, y'all. Even when I had no proof but the promise. And I'm telling you this because I want you to know this is real. This is spiritual intelligence. This is flame authority, and you have it too. Let me give you some examples of commanders, flame commanders. Number one, Moses. He commanded nature and government. He went, if you read Exodus 5:1, he said, "Let my people go." That wasn't a suggestion, y'all. It was a direct command to Pharaoh and nature. He also lifted his staff to part the sea, Exodus 14:16, not with begging, but with motion and authority. Also, Yahshua, aka Jesus, commanded reality itself. Examples: peace be still, Mark 4:39. He calmed a storm with a spoken command. Lazarus, come forth, John 11:43, where he resurrected a dead man with a flame call. Get thee behind me, Satan. Matthew 16:23. Commanded darkness to retreat. Also, distortion. I did a lot of that. Be healed over and over. He didn't ask, he declared. Joshua never begged. He commanded from union with Oversource. Remember, Oversource is God. Number three, Elijah commanded fire from heaven. An example, if I be a man of God, let the fire fall from heaven. That was in 2 Kings chapter 1, verse 10, and fire fell. That's a flame commander speaking judgment into matter. Number four, Joshua commanded time to stop. Sun, stand still over Gibeon. That's Joshua 10, 12 through 13. And it did. He paused time through spoken oversoul authority. This is a timeline command. And I remember watching an episode on the National Geographic Channel where they looked back in time and saw it was a day missing because Joshua commanded time to stop. Number five, Ezekiel commanded bones to live. Dry bones, hear the word of the Lord, live. That's in Ezekiel 37, 4 through 5. He prophesied and commanded resurrection. This is a flame reactivation of dormant beings. And last but not least, number six, Paul commanded spirits to leave. I command you in the name of Jesus Christ. Now, we all know his name is Joshua, and things have been flipped upside down, but that's besides the point right now. I need y'all to understand and feel me when I'm telling you about commanders. So, once again, Paul commanded spirits to leave. I command you in the name of Jesus to come out of her. That's in Acts 16:18. Paul exercised legal authority over unclean spirits. Now, these are your core teachings. I'll keep them crisp but poetic. Okay. So now let me give you a couple examples of definitions of the things that I've spoken of. Like number one, flame commander. A flame commander is one who speaks with oversoul authority to command timelines, shift matter, and activate divine law. They do not beg, wish, or hope. They declare, decree, and seal. Now, oversource. Oversource is the supreme original intelligence, the infinite source behind all creation. Not a God with a name, but the source behind the gods. Pure consciousness, pure justice, and pure flame. Oversoul. Oversoul is your eternal self beyond time. It is the divine blueprint of your being, the you that existed before earth, before form. It holds memory, mission, and mastery. Flame. Flame is the raw essence of divine presence within you. Flame is not just power, it is justice, clarity, and command in action. Flame is how Oversource speaks through form. Dragon. Dragons are an ancient soul lineage that protects Oversoul law, carries sacred memory, and command elemental forces. A dragon is not a beast, okay? I don't care what they tell you. A dragon is not a beast. It is a cosmic enforcer, a guardian of divine code. Now, you heard me speak just a moment ago. Dragon language. Yes, I am a dragon. Dragons are not, when a person speaks dragon, it is not a human language. It is a frequency based utterance spoken directly from oversoul through the flame. It bypasses the logical brain and it activates remembrance in those who are coded to hear it. It sounds like gibberish to the mind, but to the spirit, it is fire in motion. For example, Rusanda lavansianta la kunda, Rusanda lavansianta la kum. All right? Translation. This field is closed, the soul is flame sealed, and no entry is permitted. Now, that would be Rosanda lavansianta la macunda. Okay? Not everyone is a dragon. Soul lineage breakdown, all right? There are major archetypal soul lineages in the University of Spiritual Intelligence. Each has a role, but only some carry the flame of divine command. Number one, dragon souls. Their role is to flame enforce, they're law keepers, timeline commanders, judgment carriers. Traits. The oldest souls in the cosmos, often feared or misunderstood, carry justice in their bones. Now, here are some signs that you are a dragon. You don't run from confrontation, excuse me. You correct distortion. You speak in unknown tongues or feel the fire build in your body when truth is suppressed. You've always been one of the people coming into crisis, but rarely understood fully. Number two, elementals, fire, water, earth, air, spirits in human form. Their role is frequency stabilizers, grid holders, environment and mood changers, and their traits are deeply connected to nature, animals, sound, and weather. They're empaths with body based knowledge. Now, here are some signs that you're an elemental. You feel emotional or physical shifts in different landscapes. Animals and children are drawn to you, and you heal others by presence, not always by words. Number three, light workers. The role of a light worker, they carry light coded empathy, excuse me. They're bridge builders between dimensions. Their traits are gentle, heart centered, high sensitivity, and they often avoid conflict. Signs that you are a light worker. You often feel the need to fix others or bring peace. You are drawn to service or healing fields. You struggle with boundaries until awakening. Number four, star seeds. Star seeds are intergalactic messengers, bringers of advanced technology, memory of other realms, and their traits often feel like Earth isn't home, obsessed with the stars, time, quantum, sacred geometry. And signs are you've always felt like an outsider, you resonate with sci fi or symbols from other planets, you dream of light grids and ancient tech in other worlds. Number five, oracles, spirit interpreters, bridges or bridge between realms, divine speakers, traits, messages come to them naturally, dreams, visions, and sudden knowings. You may speak with someone or you speak what someone is thinking. You receive flashes or dreams that later happen, or you can enter a trance like state where you speak for spirit. Number six, seers. Seers are timeline witnesses, divine intelligent observers, and their traits is that you see what others cannot, truth, consequences, and hidden motives. Signs are you always knew what would happen even without proof. You rarely surprised by outcomes, and you can look at a person and feel their entire story. Number seven, prophets. Prophets are truth announcers, divine messengers, often rejected by their own. Their traits, they have strong moral compass, speak boldly, and shake systems. You've been misunderstood or silenced for speaking truth. Your words shake people's spirits, and you were called too much or crazy, but you were always accurate. Number eight, last but not least, a flame commander, which is distinct and rare. The role is of a flame commander is to command divine law into motion. Traits are all of the above, but with authority. You don't just see, you don't just hear, you speak and it happens. Your words carry weight. People change after you speak. You've written things and watched them unfold exactly as stated. You talk directly to source and receive real time instructions. You survive collapse after collapse and risen each time with more power. If Yahshua spoke to you, he wouldn't ask you to believe, he would remind you of who you are. Now, not everyone is exactly one. You could have a blend of all. As a matter of fact, I am a flame commander, and there are many others out here and that may be watching today that are flame commanders, meaning that we carry all of the above. Okay? Now, how do you know if you're a flame commander? Number one, you don't wait for permission to speak truth. Number two, your nervous system responds when lies are being accepted as normal. Number three, you are divinely equipped to collapse timelines, shut down distortion, and call spiritual court. Your oversoul wakes you up at night to speak. That's number four. And number five, you don't just cry, you command. Okay? All right. So I feel like I've given you a lot of information today. I invite you to go back and take a look at the video again because that was a lot of information. It is the very first episode. And so I wanted you all to at least get an understanding of what I'm talking about in the University of Spiritual Intelligence. I'm not going anywhere. It is definitely going to take a while to give you all of this knowledge and information that you need to remember who you are. But just remember, the dragons are awakening. You look on YouTube and you see so much spiritual information being pulled out of the box. You have tarot readers, you have people that just come up and they speak, you have seers. And let me tell you, these last 4 years in my awakening, tarot has helped me a lot. I've gotten a lot of messages through the algorithm. I've done a lot of spiritual work at home. I've worked with a lot of spirits, deities, ancestors, gods, goddesses, you name it. They help me remember who I am to be able to come here today and be your guide to help you remember who you are. Okay? So, as I stated, you may be a seer, a prophet, an oracle, or an elemental, but if your words move matter, if your voice makes reality shift, if you speak and things align, you are not just a messenger, you are a flame commander, and it's time to remember. Thank you so much for coming in and spending time with me today. Again, my name is Telena. I am your flame commander and guide. Until the next time, take care. Peace.